What's up, my good people? This is your girl, Ms. Good News, right here with WLJZ 107.1 FM. Y'all already know how we do when we come through. We show up. And we showing up with WONDR, okay? I had to say it right. Let me make sure he say it, but I'm saying it again. WONDR. It makes you wonder. Okay? Introduce yourself, sir.
What's up, everybody? I'm a pop R&B artist from North Carolina that goes by the name of WONDR. That's without the E, and I'm here to talk with Miss Good News and see what we can bring up in conversation.
Yes, because it's been a long time coming. Like we were just talking off air and just behind the videos, okay, behind the scenes, we were just talking about how we met some time ago. We met some time ago, and I'm like, yes, Shay. Shout out to Shay. Shay Foot. Look, shout out to her. She always keeps us connected with real quality people, such as yourself. And so it's been a long time coming. And so now we're in a position to make good on our word and do this interview. And I'm so excited. So let's get into your name. You know, I know people always ask people where your name come from, but we have to know. How did you come up with the name WONDR, or why is that name attached to you? Because when I think about WONDR, oh, the places we go.
You know, I feel like it's an interesting story, but I like to tell people now that I came up with it because I like NASCAR, one. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Talladega Nights, but
yes,
he was sponsored by Wonder Bread. And I was like, you know what? Let's just say that's the reason I came up with the name.
yes,
I took
I
the
love
E out of
it.
the Wonder. I'm like, it's racing, but
I
really
love
kind
it.
of a lame story. But
I love it. I bet you it's not lame. If it has anything to do with Talladega, because that is, I don't know what to do with my hands. It's like, that is the best, one of the best. So you love NASCAR.
yes, ma'am, I do.
Have you ever had the pleasure of driving?
I have. I actually did there's a NASCAR driving experience you can do in Charlotte. I think you can do it at pretty much any racetrack, but I would suggest if you have 150, 200 bucks, it's worth it. Like 100%. You get to go drive a NASCAR. You do like 7 laps in a car. There's no one in the car with you. You kind of just go out all alone on a track. And I don't know if, I mean, I guess if you're an adrenaline junkie like I am, I think that's something that is definitely worth doing at least once in your life.
Wow. So you got me wondering. See how I did that? You see, you got me wondering how fast did you go? Because you know, people like, oh, I want to drive fast, but when you're out there by yourself,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you had the opportunity, what did WONDR do? Did you push
So
it, or did you? I'm keep it safe. I'm driving safe.
I know, never driving safe when it comes to something like that. I'm flat out. I was as fast as I could possibly go. The cars, and like the first time you do it, they max out at 150 miles per hour. So that
Wow.
was the as far as I could push it. It was what let me. But the more you do it, the more you pay is what they get you to do. The more they'll let you go faster. So let's
Oh,
go back.
okay. So it got to be confidence there. It has to be a larger, because me, I would be like, especially around the curve. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, it can be scary.
yeah, you'd be like, hey, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So if you had to compare your music career to NASCAR,
Yeah.
how fast would you say it's going as far as getting better?
Yeah, I feel
Mm.
like the race is never ending with my music. I feel like I'm always going to be in competition. I don't think I'm ever really going to see a full checkered flag, I guess, to kind of put the terms in, because I feel like it's a creative thing that you can do anytime, any age. It doesn't matter whether you're taking it seriously or just doing it for fun. You know,
Right.
people are, I mean, look at like the Rolling Stones, they're still playing shows, and those guys are 80 years old at this point, I think. So it's just wild, like how far you can take it. But in terms of how fast things are going, it feels like we're kind of at this point where we have this car built and we're finally competing on a high level. And it's kind of like there's series of NASCAR. You're kind of starting out on the lower end and you try to get all the way to, you know, the main Cup Series where you're racing against the best, the Dale Juniors.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of where we're at. And now we're just trying to find a way to win a race and kind of get that hit record and
I
really bring things to the next level.
I think you're doing it, man. I think that you're doing it. I love your music is so refreshing. You know, like I don't know if people really understand that music does generate vibes. You know, people that's a vibe, that's a vibe. You know,
Yeah.
they overuse it sometimes, but in actuality, it really creates a vibe for people. And so I was listening to your song and I'm like, this is really good. Like I felt
Thank,
good. I had to
thank
go
you.
back and listen to the words too. Like, you know, don't just feel good. Make sure you
Yeah, of course.
make sure you because one of the songs is finished, right? Is
Yeah,
that one of the songs, right? And
yeah.
so is that one that you're pushing now, or is that like a song that you've done back in the past?
Yeah, it's definitely a song I'm pushing. That's the first song I released this year. So I've only done released two songs this year. So
Okay.
everything I put out, I try to continuously push. It gets
Oh,
harder because you kind of get focused on, the one that you're pushing at the moment. But I try to repurpose songs and when things are right and events are right and the time period is right, like maybe there's a song that I made in the past that reflects what's going on right now. So I
right.
try to, be cognizant of all that.
That's really good. I like that. Repurpose.
Yeah.
That's important because, like you said, if you in it for the long haul, there's
Hmm.
not no quitting time. I mean, you
No.
can you can only keep building to get better and get faster, but
Yeah.
there's really no quitting time because if you love to do it. So I'm assuming you really love to do music.
I
It was
do. I really
yours.
do.
So what's your favorite part as far as the process? Is it coming up with the idea, writing, recording, putting it out to see the response people get? What part?
Yeah, I think that's kind of changed a little bit over the past year. or So I just moved out to Los Angeles and I've been getting more involved in being in the studio with other artists and other producers, engineers. And
Right.
I've really started to enjoy that process, I think, more than I used to. I always enjoyed when I had a good beat and I had some lyrics written and I was like, oh, I know this is going to be good. That's
Right.
always a good moment. But then the recording process can be a lot because you can just be sitting there at one line over and over again and it just kind of
Right.
becomes tedious. But now that I'm in the studio with other people, I feel like there's a different type of energy each time I go into making or creating a song. So like even when I get to the recording process and I start recording, it's kind of cool because you'll have like the producer tell you, hey, try this, or the engineer say, hey, try this. And you
Right.
kind of realize you can do more than you thought you could. Unlike if you're in the studio alone, you're not really pushing yourself to try something. Maybe you don't hear it either.
That's right.
So I feel like I'm enjoying like the recording process a lot more.
I love it. My favorite part is like when creating something, you have an idea, right? And it's
Mhm.
just ideas in your head, and then you put it together and it comes to life. It's like birthing a baby.
Yeah.
Like you really get to see this thing is real, you know, other people singing it and dancing and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
that's really it's amazing. I love it. I love it. So when was your first time that you realized or noticed somebody vibing to your music and you like, okay,
ooh.
yeah.
That's a good question. Dang. Because there's been like these moments I remember where people will like come up or say something to me. I think one moment in particular, maybe it wasn't the first time I heard someone vibe into a song, but it was the first time that a person I didn't know came
Mm,
up to me and said something to me about my music and recognized me from my music. And I was in college at the time, and it was actually like I was a foreign exchange student. It was like his first year there. I think he had transferred from schools. And so I didn't really know who he was. I think it was the first time I'd seen him in this class. And he's like, hey man, like, are you that guy from this video that put on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, oh, I loved it. Like he just went off about how he loved this video. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. It's the first time it's ever happened to me where someone's recognized me for my music outside of, my friend group or, people I may know. And that was just like, that
powerful.
feeling was cool.
Oh, yay. Kudos to you. See, you give me good energy. All right. I'm over here excited like it was my experience. I know it wasn't,
I
but
love
I'm
that. I
I
love
love
that.
it. So you say did you finish college? I know you say you were in college, right? Because that was a
Yeah.
student
I
exchange.
did. I did finish college. Yes, I've I finished college, and that was kind of when I realized I really wanted to take music seriously. I think in college I was more just trying to figure it out. And that's one thing, you wish you'd go back and you'd tell yourself something. I feel like I wish I told myself, do music, like that's what you need to be doing. It was really between, do I make the music or do I work in the music industry? And I was kind of juggling those two things at the
Right.
same time. And by the time I figured it out, I was pretty much done with school. So I was like, all right, I'm going to finish up and I'm going to commit to this 100%. And that's what I
But
did.
that's really good. Like, cause here at WLJZ 107.1 FM, we are college radio. And I
Yeah.
think that that's really important that, we have stories all the time, or we hear stories all the time of people dropping out, and to each his
Yeah.
own. And everybody's path is different, but I really think it's key and very important for people like you. Although you said if I could go back, I would know what I wanted to do. But the fact that you didn't know for sure, you still committed to finishing what you
Yeah.
started. So it's okay to finish college, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
point. That's the point.
100%. I think I wouldn't have gained a lot of the relationships I had made at the same time too. I think if I had left, I probably would have lost out on a lot of opportunities with music because a lot of the kids that I went to school with were kids that I ended up making music with, or
Right.
producers, engineers, people that were in my circle at the time. And so I feel like, yeah, there's I would never go back and change, I guess, something I did. Maybe the advice is different, but I think that was definitely key, staying around and figuring it out.
Figuring it out. Man, I love your okay. So now I usually don't ask this, but let me rephrase it before I even say it. I just thought it in my mind, but I'm gonna give it to you a different way. Okay. How is your response, or how do women respond to you? Because you're handsome, you're tall, you got the pretty teeth going on, How do the women respond to you? We seen Busta Rhymes, he got his behind grip. You know what I'm saying? Is it that? Are they invasive, or are they just like how is your how is the
Uh,
interaction?
I think that's an interesting question. I think a lot of people think one way, and for me, it seems like they're pretty respectful and they kind of understand my relationship because I put that forward in my music a lot, and you can see it in my videos, my content. I write about it in my songs, and I really try to emphasize, the importance of that. And I feel like a lot of times it gets lost in the music industry. People assume you can't be in a relationship
Right.
and make music. You have to write about, breaking up and all these heartbreaks, which I had all that. So I
Right.
have that to feed off of. I've had a lot of relationships that didn't go well.
Right.
And I feel like it's important to show that good faith. I think sometimes it's not really shown very well in music, and maybe it's not as authentic. Some people hide, their relationships from people, and I don't know if they're particularly doing it to not put their person in the spotlight. I think sometimes it may just be selfish reasons. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Me too.
I think women are so important in my life that and in my music, what they say to me or not, I think I'm gonna respect them no matter what. I think that's just how it should be, and I think I try to move with the most amount of respect as possible and kind of understand where people are coming from. So,
Hey, I love you more. You see what you did to my lip? Boo. I love you more because you seem like you're such a respectful person, man, and just really good high spirits, And so that's a beautiful thing, and that's the kind of energy that you want to project onto people, and when
mhm.
especially a man, the way that a man treats a woman, and it's major, like it's like with fathers with their little girls. Fathers matter, men matter, like the way that they present themselves and the way that they show and lead by an example. Women need to see that, all races, all culture, everybody, anybody that's a woman and man, they have to play their roles. And I think that you're doing a fabulous job. So I don't
Thank
even
you.
know you personally, but that's what I can feel from you. So that's a great thing. So let's get
Thank
into this music. All right. So you said you have two songs and you're pushing those right
you.
now. Tell them
Yeah.
what it is, where they can find it, and let's get into that.
Yeah, so I have two new singles out. It's Finished and Doheny. and you can find them on all streaming platforms. If you just search Wonder, WONDR, there's no E, all streaming platforms out everywhere. So easy as that.
Yes, Wanda. It's so much I could ask you, man. Like I love NASCAR too. So are
Oh,
you
that's
looking
awesome.
like to you gonna make a NASCAR song? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh
got to,
yeah.
you have to.
Yeah, I kind of I've teased one. I put out a song called Earnhardt, but I didn't put it out on all platforms. I put it out behind a video I did for a show I performed at a racetrack. So
Okay.
I basically put like this show and made it into its own little music video, kind of mood video type thing. It's called Earnhardt, but I want to make something more. I want to do more involved in racing with music, writing, but not only just writing, but performing as well. Trying to get out to these tracks and really like create an experience, bring new fans in, bring my fans into the sport so they can kind of see what it's like and kind
Right.
of create something new and different for people to enjoy, not just going to a race, but they're also getting this music experience. And I think that could be
I
really
think you're
cool.
doing it. I think you're doing it. I mean, I went on your website and I was like, he loves NASCAR. I know it. I
That's
said,
good. That's what I
I'm
need.
like, he loves NASCAR. He loves NASCAR. And that's cool. Like I think that that's a whole nother lane for artists to get into. Like, even when thinking about like Michael Jordan when Nike came to him and gave him the money for the shoes, because
Yeah.
people understand that artist carries the weight for creativity and then for just people to start going into these different directions in life. Like they look to the artist to be the brand ambassador for life, like, oh, he's wearing a green hat. Okay, I'm gonna do that too. He loves Gatorade, so you have these different things, these different entities or brands or whatever the case may be, they start tying into artists and heavily because they know that these artists is going to get the word out there. And so I know with you, NASCAR, if you listening, stop playing with him. Wonder needs to be there, okay? He
I
needs
love
to
it.
be right there. I love every bit of it, every bit of it. So tell me, what is your relationship as far as Shay? Is she the PR? Is she works with you?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that about? Well, what's that like?
Yeah. So Shay is my PR, and I met her. Oh man, I don't know how many years ago. It might have been 3 or 4 years ago. I met her in Raleigh, North Carolina, at an event. Actually, it was uh, it was like a DJ event.
Right.
Artists would come in, they play their songs for a bunch of DJs and industry people, and basically they kind of give you their thoughts and feedback. And at the beginning of this event, the host said, "Hey, this lady Shay is here. She knows everybody in radio. She's best publicist around." Like really hyped her up as she should be because she is.
Right.
And I took note of that pretty quickly. But I sat at this event for I want to say 2 hours maybe, and they forgot to play my song. So I was heated. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm pissed off. Like this sucked. I just wasted all my night doing this." And I'm walking out of the building and I'm like, you know what? No, like I can't let nothing come from this. I need to do something. I just
That's
need to like
right.
force myself to make something from this opportunity because I was here all night. And I turned around and I saw Shay sitting on the porch. I don't know if she's on the phone or something. And I just walked up to her and I said, "Hey, my name's Ryan. I go by the name Wonder. Like, here's my music. Check it out. I know you're a PR. I would love to, get a coffee or talk to you sometime about possibly working together." And
Right.
one thing led to another, email follow up, and she ended up getting back to me and loving the music, and the rest is history. Now I'm here talking to you.
Hey, go Shay. Go Shay. I love it. And see, now again, there go another story with you. I think it's important that artists have stories. Everybody have a story. But I would tell
Yeah,
you what separates great artists from people that's just kind of like, on the cusp, okay, of success is that you understand your story and you know it. And then you learned the lessons from it and you can really like put that into play for yourself. And
yeah,
for you, this is the second thing that you've said where you made the best of your situation because it is crazy to be at any event and you're waiting for your turn and your turn don't never come. But
yeah,
you just say, man, dang, like you said, naturally You're a human, so you're gonna be like, man, come on, I just saved 2 hours. I had to drive to get here too, but I'm not wasting not a moment. So you, again, that's the second time that you've proven where you do not waste any moment. And I believe that that's a big part of your story. You can help a lot of people know that, listen, don't waste any of your life. It doesn't matter. You can either get good out of it or you can sit there and soak,
Yeah,
and
100%.
so you doing your thing. See what I'm saying? You got me all see, ting.
We're just hyping each other up now.
It's good stuff. So I know you have do you have an endorsement deal with different, is it endorsement deal? I want to say with different brands, or let me know. Tell me what it is so I can make sure you use the right verbiage.
Yeah, so we've had a couple brand deals. No, these aren't endorsement deals. These have been kind of like 1 or 2 time things where we work with different companies to create a campaign or an ad. So we did stuff with Leo Messi's company. It's called the Messi brand.
Right.
It's his clothing company that came out last year. So we did a few campaign runs with him, which is crazy opportunity. And then we did one the year before that with Perry Ellis America and Urban Outfitters. They had a new line coming out, collaboration together. So we did a whole ad and campaign for them as well. And right now we're working with Hooters and trying to figure out a way we can do something with them for these NASCAR races. And we're really trying to find more ways to involve companies that, we've been around growing up for years and feel like we can kind of mesh with and support and kind of build up each other's, brands and all that. So it's been kind of cool and exciting to do stuff.
That's cool. You look like a model, man. How tall are you? Please tell me. Because you're sitting at the top of the screen and you're sitting down. Okay. No.
I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2".
I know it. And got the Kool-Aid smile to match. So WONDR, you are definitely making people wonder, okay? Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, y'all do not have to wonder about his music. His music is definitely there. Let them know one more time where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me at WONDR94 everywhere on social media. That's no E in the WONDR, and then WONDR on all streaming platforms, no E. So easy as that.
No E's, baby. No E's. No E's. Okay. So I would ask you, what would you like people to take away from your music and just experiencing you? If they go on YouTube and they may see a video, they may see this interview right here. What is it that you want them to walk away with? What is the takeaway?
Yeah, I think we've been kind of talking about it this entire interviews, but the energy you put out in the world and how you treat other people, I think I try to set an example, and especially for my male audience, I feel like that's one of the hardest audiences to reach in terms of, treating people with respect, treating women with respect. And I write a lot about women in my music, like I said before, and, treating everybody with respect and really trying to learn and grow on your own and figuring out how to get through certain situations in life. And I try to help people do that with my music. And I think I have. People reach out to me talking about how I've helped them in certain situations through songs. And, maybe I don't even recognize it at first, but I think that's my biggest goal, is just to give people something that can help them. Whatever situation it is in their life, I want them to get something from my music that's not just, something to listen to on a Friday. So,
well, we would definitely have you in rotation up here at WLJZ 107.1 FM. And we tell people we are a reporting station. So that means you get paid to be played. Okay. No payola over here. You get paid to be played.
Love that. Love it.
Yeah, so make sure, anybody that's watching, just rewind this video again 2 or 3 times if you want to. That's the magic of film, okay, and video. Make sure you watch it. Follow this man. Shout out to Shay. She is wonderful. She is really a wonderful person, and it tells through her work. And you are a wonderful artist And again, that tells your work, your smile, and God bless you with that height. So look,
Oh my God.
we are finished. That's one of his songs. We're finished with this interview, but he's not finished with life. He's gonna keep going. So y'all make sure
Always.
you tap into WONDR, no E, WONDR, no E. Okay. And thank you so much for giving me and blessing me with your presence.
Likewise, right back at you.
All right, so we are out. Again, it's your girl, Ms. Good News, right here on WLJZ 107.1 FM.